Present.
Alderwoman Erickson is here, Alderman Danko,
Here.
and Alderman Kreinbrink.
Here.
And I believe Alderman Robinson is walking in. Yes, he is. All right, we will review the semi-monthly bills. Does anybody have any questions?
I had some questions about, well, I'm just confused about this CTS and Cintas and CTS, since we had Angie do a report for us. I don't understand why we're using two companies, and we seem to be using both of them throughout the year, so I just don't understand.
So it was my understanding that it originally started with Cintas, and then some of the repairs ended up being performed by CTS. Then additionally, some of the city buildings are being done by CTS and not Cintas.
So should we have one, though, instead of just going back and forth and using two?
Ideally, I think that's what should happen, yeah. And this is one of the things too that should probably, I don't know what the dollar amount ends up being, but you could potentially put like an RFP out there and try to get some competitive bidding as well.
Anybody, you have any more, Janelle?
Just give me a minute if anybody else does.
Just a comment on that CTS. If you look at the bill, there's no dollar amount next to what they did. So it lists like 4 different things. I think 1 is coming to the location or whatever. 2 is doing whatever service, but there's just a total amount. The amounts aren't spelled out as far as what it is for the technician, what it is for the material. So that probably needs to be done.
So there's not a breakdown of what each task was?
Not on that bill that's there tonight.
Was that for the Cintas or for CTS?
CTS. And again, I'm sure there's probably still confusion because of some city departments using Cintas and some using CTS.
Jeff, do you know if we're under a contract with Cintas and CTS on different city buildings, or?
We switched to CTS for this building because Cintas was not being responsive here. I mean, they would come out and not tell anybody, send us a bill. We weren't happy with it, so we wound up with CTS, who we're getting a lot more cooperation with, but they're also finding a lot of things that I think were kind of not being found in the past. So, you know, I guess you could say, well, yeah, they're new to the contract, maybe they're just looking for that stuff. But I think we found that there was a lot of safety lights and things like that that needed to be done, so. The other ones seemed to be okay in the other spots, but in talking to the guys, I don't know that they went around with them very much either, because they were pulled in other directions, so.
But that's a problem. We shouldn't have anybody doing that kind of a service for the city of Sandwich unless we have a staff member to go with them.
Right.
Because I could walk in right now and say, well, I changed 5 light bulbs in here and I didn't change a single one, and I'm gonna charge you for it.
Yep.
We have nothing to back it up. And no offense to the people that do that kind of business, but they're being paid. They're getting commission on the more stuff that they sell or find wrong or whatever the case is. So again, replacing a battery, do we know if the battery was dead or not? You know, it'd be kind of nice to have a staff member with and pushing the button. And I know we don't have manpower, we don't have things available, and that's where it falls, where it needs to be scheduled with us. Kind of like, you know, what Fred was saying, possibly do an RFP or whatever, and that's part of it, is that it's gonna be scheduled with, you know, we used to have it where there was one person from Public Works every Friday would be responsible for basically building maintenance. Half of the day would be responsible for coming over to City Hall and doing the things like the light bulbs, you know, and checking that kind of stuff. And if it's more than what they can do, then obviously we contact somebody. But that's where we'd run into a problem where there's been something that's been down for weeks or months because nobody's noticed, you know? Like the lights across the street, I don't know if there's a fuse that's blown or what, but the Christmas tree lights haven't been on for that tree or anything for, I'm not sure how long. The same thing with the lights up above in the windows. I don't know if they're in a timer or not, but they're not on. Went by the other night around 8:30 or so, they weren't on.
Okay, well, I can check on those.
So I think the best thing is moving forward is we need just to establish a procedure of how we are going to move forward, right? So I think the biggest thing though is we should try to go in front of the inspection and check this stuff ourselves. And if we can change a bulb, let's change a bulb versus spending, you know, their time and extra time and effort, you know, and having them do that.
Okay, does anybody have any other questions?
Yeah, you had a question about the cyber.
Yes, I do have one of those.
You have that one right there, Fred, the cyber one?
It's, I was
We
just,
approved cyber insurance, but I don't think that's insurance.
Is that what that is? That's not the cyber, the policy? That you said was approved on the first?
We did the-
I didn't see anything on the first, so
The IMIC
The risk
annual
program?
renewal?
IMIC, yeah, that's
that's
yep,
the
risk
insurance?
Program administrators, yep,
Okay.
that's part of IMIC.
That is part of IMIC?
That's
Okay.
that's what you guys approved.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah, we just didn't have individual breakdowns
No.
in the, so
Got
it's a lump sum.
right.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different, different names that they all run with.
Okay, when
The
you
risk
said it's
management,
first, I was like, I don't remember anything on the first for that. Okay.
no, that was already approved.
And then,
Well, I do have a question on page 6 or 8 with the Foster Buick. On 10/20/25, we paid $1,968.75 for the Montclair inspection and violation. Now they're wanting another almost $1,300 for the next one. I mean, what are they doing?
Well, we had to kind of figure out how we were going to assess those fines and do that process of actually doing the inspection and then being able to send everything out. I mean, we did have a lot of correspondence back and forth from their attorney that was, I don't want to say threatening, but it was. So a lot of that did have to go through the attorney so that they could talk back and forth on those items.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure they charged us once before, now they charge us again. So-
Right, because the first one was an initial walkthrough where we identified a whole 20, I think it was 24 items. And then we gave them 60 days to look at it and get it taken care of. They didn't meet that, so then we had to reissue another citation and did another visit, had another week in there. They had 6 items to do, they didn't get them all done. We've also issued all the citations at this point and fines for the ones that have been completed.
Okay.
Did they have their liquor license taken away yet?
They have not, but they have no gaming machines any longer. And we got a lot of good cooperation from the local people. The problem is more with their corporate, who is being resistant to working with us on the things that need to be done. Everything that can be done locally is being done for the items that are outstanding. The fines are at $750 a day. The others were $100 a day until they got them fixed, so. And that's why we had to involve legal.
okay, I also have a question about The shredding, did we ever put that out for bid, or do we just keep using the same people we've been using? Only because it's $1,500?
I don't know as if we ever used anybody or not. That's the first time I ever remember seeing that we've actually had a shredding company come out to do stuff.
Yeah, we were throwing away stuff from 2015. So, and there wasn't really a good way to be able to tell until they got here, and we got some of the stuff out of there to be able to tell what could go and what couldn't. Otherwise, I spoke to Denise about this afternoon, and it was just a matter of, we talked to a couple companies, but they wanted to come out and they wanted to inventory everything, and they wanted to charge us to come out and do that. So we kind of rolled the dice and had them come out, so I
Is
didn't
this like a
think.
one-time thing? We're not gonna, I mean, obviously.
We
we're
should
gonna have to-
begin doing it
We're gonna
every.
have to do it, but I
We
mean,
should
like,
do it probably annually instead of once every 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then I would expect it would be a smaller bill. I mean, there may be still a trip charge, but there wouldn't be the volume that we had this time.
and then we could probably do a bid for it. If we're doing it monthly, I mean, they'd probably be like, oh, you guys are only gonna have this amount a month, you know?
If we do it annually,
Or, I mean, that's what I meant, anyway, I'm sorry.
I'm not positive, but because of the types of records that they basically have to get permission from the state to be able to destroy them. So there's a process they have to go through to get it approved, and these companies, I think, are, I don't know if you want to say certified, but they have to provide documentation to us afterwards as far as how much they've gotten rid of, so many totes, if it's a 50-gallon tote or a 95-gallon tote, you know, and that they had
sense.
shredded 3 of them. So it's almost like they give us a receipt and that they shredded this, so then we have a record that we did get rid of those items.
right, they get that to us so we can provide it to the states that they can line it up with what we've gotten rid of.
The other, I have two more. Does anybody have anything else before I go to these two?
I just had one for EEI on the EV charging station. It's our second charge from them for the charging station, and we were just promised before we weren't gonna have to pay anything.
I have a note for Don.
Oh.
I haven't heard
Okay.
anything back, though.
Well, I mean, those are charges for Kurt. Kurt is our city engineer, and in order for him to look at that, it costs us money for him to look at that. That isn't something that is from Commonwealth Edison.
Right,
The
no,
cost
but,
was supposed to be, there wasn't supposed to be any cost from Commonwealth Edison.
That's not how he put it, though. He literally had us saying that there will be no cost to the
there's
city.
nothing to us at all.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I-
and
I mean,
that's not what I said, but
I'm just
I
saying,
agree.
that when he came up there, the couple times that he said it is, there will be no cost to anybody. We will not have any cost for any of this. And that's the second charge we've gotten from EEI for that, so if you look into that.
I mean, I would think that ComEd has their own engineers to look at everything, and we should trust what, I mean, of course, you may have to look it over once or something, but judging by the bill, that's about $1,400, so you have 7 hours into it,
Yeah.
you know?
There's been a lot of back and forth on it. I mean, I'm not gonna go into it now, but it's not going smoothly.
Okay, the other one that I have, I had that one too, so I knocked that one off. The other one I have is about Pew Pew, the cleaning service over at the police department. They raised their bill, I think it was 14,000?
12, 14, around there, yeah.
14,000.
I can't remember offhand, but
So I think we need to put that back out for bid. I'm not
I've
sure.
had that conversation with the chief as to what he wants to do with it, whether he wants to try to find
Well, he thought
somebody
that,
to do it, or he wants to put it out to bid, but I don't have time to do it like I did last time.
well, I know that him and I have talked about it too, as I'm the
figure it out.
liaison, and he has asked that who does here for cleaning, clean there for just everyday kind of cleaning. If there's things they need for the jail, then we could contract that out to somebody, and it'd be less than what we're paying right now, is what Chief had told me. I don't know if we want to go that route, but I just think somebody just upping it to $14,000 or $12,000 without even like really saying anything is ridiculous, when they're not even coming out very much to do what they need to do. So I think we all need to figure that one out, because that's a lot of money to clean.
I'm not sure if the person that does City Hall in the annex, if they would be interested in doing the PD, to be honest with you.
Well, I know they didn't before, but I think maybe I would like to offer that, if we could, to them at least first, and then go another route if we have to. What are you guys thinking about that?
Oh, I agree. I mean, ask them. If not, then we do need to put it out to bid because that's a large increase.
So when was the contract up with that Pew Pew? Or when is it up? Because typically they would give notice, 3,
We-
4 months prior to their
We
term.
just noticed a couple months ago that all of a sudden, why did it increase
Yeah.
$500?
So are we still in a contract with them, though? That's what
Let
my
me
question
look.
is.
I think it's monthly right now, like with them.
You think it's month to
I
month?
don't think we signed a contract, it's not even,
But before, there was a term.
there was. I don't have any
I
of
mean,
those.
most definitely, we need to bid it out. And I don't know if Jennifer would want to take that on either. I mean,
Right, but I would like to offer it to her just in
Yeah,
case, you
well,
know?
I still think we should bid it out. Let her put her number down. Let Rich put his number down, and
I'm not cleaning it.
you sure you don't want to do it?
No. Not interested.
I just sent you the contract, Fred.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'd be good to, and that should be something that is within the realm of the chief and his staff to send out.
They ought to be able to get the bids.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
They've
right.
got
Without
enough
doubt.
staff to be able to do that.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're around a computer, they're around the desk, office.
So we'll bid that out, and I'll talk to Chief about possibly being able to do that? Okay. All right, does anybody have anything else?
Well, I wanted to ask about this cloud permit, because cloud permit here is $7,200. I think that's just for a year, is it, in here?
Yeah, that's what I was bringing, and then he said to, well, let me see. If I can find it.
Yeah,
What
that was
was
the
that
72.
under?
What was that, sorry?
Print?
What was that?
If you go on page 5, with the
You hand that to him.
box at the bottom, it's Cloud Permit Inc.
Here, cloud permit, yep.
I said cloud print, sorry, it's cloud print.
And so what I wanted to see is if that's just for okay, so it's January 1st through December 31st.
And we have budgeted for 11,000 in there, I believe, right? Isn't that what that says?
What was that?
It says 11,000 there, on that second page.
Yes. Okay, so that takes care of that one. I see here we got some gravel, and I just wanted to know if we hauled that or if somebody else hauled that.
Jeff? might
Jeff, do you know
about
if the gravel that we got, was that something that we hauled or was that something somebody else hauled? Because crushing it, looks like we just got about shy of 18 tons. I was just wondering if we sent our crews over to get that or if we were gonna get another bill for hauling from another vendor.
That I don't know.
Yeah, maybe if
I'm
you
not
could ask,
sure.
if you could just find out about
Yeah, I
that.
can ask Nick.
Then Shaw Media, we have the treasurer's report. It looks like it was $765 that it needed to be put in the paper. Do we know, is that an annual report?
That's probably,
Annual, Denise? And that's just something that we have to, is a statutory requirement to put in the local media? Okay. Thank you. It's amazing what that stuff costs these days.
it's ridiculous.
I did have a question on the Verizon Wireless. We pay a monthly traffic signal data. Is there a way to just go to an annual payment on that? So we're not, it's a fixed rate, so we're not having to do a check cut every month if we just do an annual payment and be done with it?
We can find out.
I think that would be a nice thing for the office staff to cut down on one more processing there. And then we have the GIS workshop. We have a 24,480 fee here.
Yep, that
So-
is for G-Works, which is our financial software.
So that is G-Works, that's not GIS, it's not
No.
mapping, okay.
That's just the name of their company.
Okay.
It's G-Works.
Okay.
It's the G Workshop, I guess. So
And is that's gonna be an annual
that
fee?
is the annual fee.
Okay.
And that's the one that they raised last year.
Correct.
Because our software is older. I still think we need to, during budget, discuss how we're gonna move forward with a financial software that's other than this product. But even at a 9-month implementation, once we get started, we're gonna be another year with this one, so
Okay.
we really don't have a choice.
That's fine. Okay, I was afraid that was, when it said GIS workshop, I was like, oh, great, is this the GIS cost? And that then takes care of my questions. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Don, did you have anything? Rich, you good?
Sorry, I was looking at something else. The Altor for the, that jumping jack or whatever, do you know, what was that for?
We brought that one up too, didn't we?
Well, that's a compactor,
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't it the
a jumping jack compactor, so it's something for the streets department. I think the one they had was pretty aged.
So that, were they renting one? Or
I
did
think they
buy it?
had one, if I'm not mistaken, but it was a replacement, right?
All right. I just didn't know if it was Altor for, if that was, if they were buying it from them or if they were renting.
Yeah, replacement of jumping jack.
Okay.
I don't know, this says rental service.
Oh, it does? Why would it say replacement then? Page 3 at the bottom with the box.
Well, they must have bought it. I mean, it says on here it's rental, but it does say thank you for doing business with rental service.
That seemed a little cheap, but it said replacement, so maybe that's supposed to be,
I'm wondering if they just.
Rental.
Yeah, because it's from a rental place. Maybe they're just replacing their one with a rental.
so we need to clarify that. If that's a rental or a purchase. Did it say how long we rented it for 1,700 bucks? That's kind of pricey.
I think that's one. Is that the one? Wait, no, it's not. Okay, well, they looked that over. Does anybody else have any questions?
My final question would have been, I saw where we got another 3 ballistic shields, and it said new squads. So did we not have ballistic shields in the old squads, or?
Hey, Chief, will you answer that one about the ballistics shields? He
I
was
saw we
asking.
got 3 more new ones, and it said new squads. Did we not have them in the old squads?
Correct, sir. They were not in the, those will be original issues to those squads.
How many total ballistic shields do we now have then in the city of Sandwich?
9. And 2 of them are from 1992.
Better than no shield.
All right, any more questions, Rich?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Janelle?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, Fred, you good?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. All right, do we have any unfinished business? I don't have any. New business, approval of minutes from December 2nd, 2025. Can I get a motion?
I will make that motion.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any audience comments? Okay, can I get a motion to send the bills totaling $431,161.57 to the council tonight?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned at 6:54.